Hi, it's Feminista Jones. Welcome back to feministajones.com. I wanted to make a quick video today just to kind of talk about a lot of stuff that's been going on recently. And I'm not going to address it all because many of you follow me on Twitter. You've read my blogs. You've read articles about, things related to street harassment and things like that. I just kind of felt like I needed to just check in a little bit. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I wanted to check in with you all, supporters and enemies alike. I really don't give a shit. You're watching the video. Thanks for the hits. And I just wanted to kind of just let you know that this shit is crazy. And don't hit me with the, oh, you're being ableist for using the word crazy. This shit is crazy. And it's really fascinating to kind of watch as a social observer, right? To sit back and kind of watch how all of this is really playing out. We're talking about violence against women, and we look at the spectrum of things. And so you've got street harassment on one end, you've got domestic violence, you've got sexual assault, rape, things like that. You've got all these things that are on this spectrum of violence against women. And I talk about all those things. And one of the reasons I talk about all those things is because I'm really focused on, like, one of my specialties is really focusing on the sexual liberation of women, because I feel like women are oppressed because of their gender identities or their sex. And I feel like that if we can kind of reduce some of that and like pull that out and kind of neutralize the impact that just being born, female or born with whatever parts or identifying as a woman as an adult, however it is, however we play that out, that should not have any impact on how you are treated. That should not affect the way people view you, regard you, allow you access to resources or things like that. It definitely should not limit your sexual freedom and your ability to explore your sexuality and really enjoy that part of you. But I've found over the years of doing this that people get really caught up in shaming women, and I don't call it slut shaming. I have a blog about that. You can look it up. But I really have this issue with shaming women for just being human beings, right? I mean, we all have sexual urges and needs, but then here we go with this violence that really tries to suppress women, not just sexually, but physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, everything, right? And I'm kind of tired of it. I mean, I've been on this earth almost 36 years, and I feel like we can't just be who we are. So I talk about all these things, and I'll continue to talk about all these things. But I do admit that it has been really frustrating over the past 6 months just to see, like, within my own community, and I would say I'm calling it the Black community, the kind of vitriol that is directed towards women who are vocal, Black women who are vocal, or, even Afro-Latino women that are vocal about their experiences as women. There's a lot of denial of our experiences. There's a lot of, ignoring us, telling us to shut up, the whole silencing thing, which is really abusive and violent, but there's a lot of that going on. There's a whole lot of, basically clinging to, I've always been this way, so I don't want to change, and you telling me to change is not going to work for me. And that's a problem, right? Because white people did the same thing. And I think what's really interesting is that I make the parallels between how Black women are treated by Black men, some Black men, as sexist, and comparing that to how Black people are treated by some white people, or have been treated by some white people, as a racist thing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of Black men who don't want to make that comparison. They don't see it because they don't see sexism as important as racism, or as having as much an impact. Why would they? They're not affected by it, right? But when we speak on it, it becomes like this really angry kind of pushback. And I hate watching it. I hate seeing that there are some brothers who really just don't care about our feelings and our personal safety. I mean, we are the mothers of their children. I mean, who knows? I don't know, that maybe that's changing. But we're generally the mothers of their children. We are their mothers, their brothers, their sisters, their daughters, their cousins, their friends, their coworkers. And yet they don't seem to value our safety and our well-being. And that's disheartening, right? And I hate to see that. But I do know that I do have a lot of support, and I just wanted to kind of take a moment to really thank the brothers who have been there this whole time, really kind of holding it down. And I don't think you guys realize how important it is to me that you are there and that you have this network of support. I mean, when somebody tries to come for me, you guys really rush in and really kind of check them where they are. And that is really, really appreciated. So thank you so much. I also want to thank the righteous whitest, the really righteous white people who, you know, they're trying their best to just learn and grow and just be supportive, and they share my work and they're there for me when the times are hard. So I really thank you too. It's not about centering you in this, because I feel like white people have been centered for a very long time, and it's time for other voices to be heard. Black, Latina, Native, Asian, you know, we're all here, Arab, whatever. We're all here, and we all have a right to have a voice. So thank you for being supportive of that and for allowing more texture to come into the conversation. I've experienced attacks over the last 6 months, and that was to be expected. I mean, I've been doing this work long enough to know how the reactions are. So I can't say that it's a surprise. I can say that it's very disappointing, and it's hard to hear people say that I hate Black men simply because I'm asking them to do and be better than every negative stereotype that is out there about them. And I understand that as human beings, regardless of race, some people are just not going to be good people. That's going to happen. But I do hold my brothers, and you're still my brothers, even when you treat me like I am worse than the spit on your shoe. I want my brothers to do better and be better. And I think if there's anyone that you should defend and protect, first it is yourselves, then it is us. And it's not to see when we say don't hurt us as an attack on you, it's to see don't hurt us as don't hurt us. That's all. And I'm going to continue to ask that. But I do admit that in the past few months, I find myself less willing to speak up and less willing to be active and participate on behalf of my brothers, because it brings me too much negativity, and that it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And as people have seen recently, I am under attack for something that I had nothing to do with, simply because as a Black woman, I am the only person over whom some people believe they have power. So that's happened, and it's okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to continue to fight for freedom, for equality, and I am going to focus on Black girls and Black women. I'm going to use my platform to try to help all women, really, and I think that men are going to be helped in that as well. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. I don't really want to take this much longer because I don't like to dwell on the negativity. It's always going to be there. But I just think that when people put my life in jeopardy, when they threaten my safety, then I kind of have to call that out a little bit. But then I also have to let people know that I am okay and that I'm fine and I'm going to continue to do this. And for, you know, the guy who decided that he wanted to try to threaten my safety and get attention, I've only got half a bar. Fuck you, Jamar.